Alrighty, so we've managed to conquer Constantinople. Not that it does much for us, because control is set to 0. First we have to integrate the city, it looks like. Or the province. Through a cabinet action, let's see. Here we go, integrate the province. Supposedly it's going to take 600 years, but we'll see. I don't think it'll take that long. Doesn't seem logical. One thing we could do, potentially, is actually release Constantinople as a vassal. Even a colonial nation. As it should be. And really we need to decide if we're going to release it as a vassal or not, because it's very far away from Trebizond, and we don't share a physical connection. Is it even possible? If we look, yeah, our proximity is 0, because we're so far away. So even if I integrate it, it might not have any value, because of how far away the province is. Maybe I should just release it right now. Not even bother integrate it, because even if I integrate it, I don't think I'm going to be able to benefit from the integration. Is there anything we can do to increase proximity in a naval province? Well, it looks like having a harbour decreases proximity through port. But even so, we don't actually have a harbour in our capital, funnily enough. Now we have harbour capacity. Right. I think I'm just going to release Constantinople, actually. I just don't think we can really benefit from it as it is. So by giving it up, making it a vassal, we'll at least receive some benefit. Really, we need to conquer the countries around us. Are they still all vassals? Let's take a second to look. This guy's still a tributary. This guy's still a tributary. This guy is still a tributary. Is their master still a vassal? He is. His master, though, is still very strong. And how strong are the Ottomans? They got 5,000 men. I wonder, should we be expanding up here? Maybe we should be attacking Georgia. They're stronger than us, though. That's another thing. I think I'm just going to invest heavily in expanding our military. That's probably where I should sink all the money that we do have. We do have our one ship, our magnificent galley. Let's appoint an admiral. Now no one could defy us, surely. We could marry one of our daughters someday. Maybe we'll marry her to Burgundy. Sounds logical. We can only marry her to this Korotatir, though. Is he a member of the ruling dynasty? He is, I think. We could marry her to the heir of Serbia, though. That'll give us some prestige. And maybe we should try and get an alliance, because we have no allies, so if we are attacked, there's literally nothing we can really do other than hope for the best. Bulgaria is pretty strong. It'd be nice if we could get them as an ally. But no, they don't like us. I guess we'll just have to go with Serbia. Not as strong. Strong enough, probably, to protect us. I mean, the real problem is everyone around us is a vassal, or is strong themselves. So even if we wanted to do anything, we can't really. Maybe we should just try and fight the Ottomans. They're the only one who isn't a vassal of somebody. And they own lots of territory that we might want. Let's start building a spy network in the Ottomans. Alright, I've decided we're going to release Constantinople instead of ruling it. We're going to release it as a vassal. I would have liked to release it as a fiefdom, but personal unions don't seem to be working very well at the moment in the current release version. Otherwise, I would have personal unioned Byzantium in that war. Ooh, I can pick who will be the ruler. Okay. I could make my daughter the ruler. Maybe we shouldn't keep it in the family, though, because we don't inherit. We don't want to personal union the territory. We can make our wife the ruler, randomly chosen. We could make that guy who we married our daughter to, who has really good stats, the ruler, but he's in our cabinet. Do we really want to lose him? Really, it's a question of, is there someone we're fine losing? Is there someone who removing from our country might have a benefit? We'll give it to this guy. Wait, no, he's not Greek. We want a Greek ruler. At the very minimum. Do we even have any Greeks in our country? Everyone's a Pontic person, which I mean is fine. But we'd rather put a Greek person in charge of Greek territory, assumedly. I guess we might have to put a family member in charge, because they're the only Greeks around, apparently. I guess we'll put our daughter in charge. She's Greek. Children aren't, though. Is there a way for me to, like, hire a Greek? Ah, well, we'll put this Alan guy in charge. I'm sure he won't Alanify Constantinople too much. We have created a vassal. The vassal of Byzantium. So do they automatically core the territory? No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like they also have to integrate the province even though it is their capital. I suppose we'll leave them to it, and we'll try and think about what else we should do. Guess we don't need to integrate that province anymore. So what else should we devote our time to? Now, our country barely exists, but I do think we should start doing things to try and improve the economy, mainly building roads. It'd be nice if I could roadify most of my country, because currently have very low control in every province that exists. All of them, essentially. Problem is, it's so expensive building roads. But one of the things is our states have no money. I keep looking at them and seeing that they have no money, because their expenses are higher than their income. And because the estates don't have any money, they can't build things for us. And really, we'd like them to build things for us, because then we don't need to build them ourselves. So one of the things I want to do is try and give our estates some money so they can pay us more tax, obviously, but also so they can build their own things. That way I don't need to think. So first things first, we're going to build a road between Trebizond and Khorazal, which will take most of our treasury, but I'm sure it'll be fine. We're going to try and build a road all the way to the city over here, in the hopes that that will benefit us. Another thing I'm wondering is whether we should start recruiting an actual army. We do have 300 manpower, which is our max, so maybe we should just start building units right now. We can build some footmen. We probably shouldn't get too crazy. Let's build one footman, just see what it looks like. Ah, we've researched peasant levies. My question is peasant levies a different form of levy? What were our levies before, if they weren't peasants? We now have one soldier. Can I recruit peasant levies? Doesn't like it. I assume when I just raise levies, they'll raise as peasant levies. Seems sensible, but what's the point of researching peasant levies? What's the difference between a peasant levy and existing levies? I just don't know. When I hover over, it just says 20% of the pops are valid. They're a form of army levy. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll have more soldiers when we raise the levies. We managed to build a road. Our income increased a little. Unfortunately, our estates still aren't making enough money. Well, yeah, it looks like they're still not making enough money to turn a profit, which is too bad, but it's a long-term goal. Actually, the peasants apparently are making a profit. I'm not sure that peasants... Well, they're aiming to build a papers guild. Ah, that's interesting. I can see what they want to build. Now, if we could just make it so they have the money to build things, maybe we should start expanding these RGOs. They will lead to increase in money, and they're a lot cheaper than building roads. You can see that we don't have enough pop to work in a lot of these RGOs that we're expanding, but that shouldn't be a big problem, because peasants will convert into laborers if there's laborer jobs around that need to be filled. And since we have a lot of peasants, they might as well convert into a useful stratep. Strata even, don't know why I said stratep. We can fabricate a casus belli against the Ottomans. Let's do it. Fabricate a religious casus belli, and we'll try and take the territory they control in, well actually, it's hard to choose. It's probably smarter to just try and take the territory they control on the mainland, as it were, in the Balkans. We could give that to our vassal, and then we wouldn't have to bother with it. Let's try it. We're currently allied with Serbia. Do the Ottomans have any allies? They have a vassal. They're about the same strength as Serbia. We're kind of the same strength as their vassal. Oh, Byzantium's very strong. Well, they have a lot of levies. They have around as many levies as us. So hopefully they don't rebel or try anything. This province is still conquered, though, it looks like. It looks like they haven't managed to integrate their capital. Sure, it won't be a big deal. They're currently building a castle in Constantinople, though. Let's wait a little for them to finish the castle so that the province has more defense. And then we'll think. How does the Ottomans have a navy? They do not. So our one ship rules the waves. Is this going to work? Some reason we can call Theodoro into the war, but not Serbia? We are allied to them. No, we're not. Apparently I didn't ally with. I accidentally allied with Theodoro at some point instead of Serbia. Did I? I must have done. Their flags are too similar. I must have got them mixed up. Let's look at this again then. What would we need to call Serbia in? Border distance is what's stopping them. Did the Ottomans just convert to Orthodoxy? Where can I see the religion of a country? Yeah, it looks like the Ottomans just converted to Orthodoxy. I mean, I'm not going to tell them what they should and shouldn't do, but that's probably one of the things they shouldn't do. But wait, if the Ottomans have converted to Orthodoxy, what happens to my religious casus belli? Looks like it's still being created, but I guess we'll just have to... We'll wait and see what happens when the casus belli is completed. Whether it can actually be used or not. Guess we'll just keep waiting. Right, we now have our religious casus belli on the Ottomans. Can we actually use it? We can, despite them now being of our religion. Sounds silly, but I mean, you know. Now the real thing is we need to find a way to get Serbia to join the war. I've been trying to curry favors with them, but I'm not sure if curry favors can be used to bring them into wars. If I can't bring in Serbia... Oh, well actually the Ottomans have an ally now. Or do they? They've been guaranteed by these guys over here, which is not what I wanted to hear. Are these guys still a vassal? If they're guaranteeing people, they're still a vassal. How can a vassal guarantee? How does that work? Oh well. I guess let's actually look across the sea and start thinking about maybe attacking these smaller nations over here. How strong's Georgia? They're very strong. We'll avoid them for the moment then. Could we vassalize Theodoro? What would it take? They're pretty close to be accepting becoming our vassal, actually. Let's see if we can't improve our relationship with them and get them to accept becoming our vassal. Oops! Our king just died, it looks like. Our Basilius, anyway. 57. Sudden illness took his late majesty from us too early. We're now in a noble regency. This guy becomes our ruler for the moment. He's a mercenary, so I'm not really sure why. It'll only last around 3 years to when our heir comes of age. Our crown prince is stupid though. He's bad in every metric due to being born an idiot. Hopefully we'll be able to handle that. We're really close to getting Theodoro to becoming a vassal. If it could increase our diplomatic reputation a little, then I think it can be done. Black Death finally ended. Killed 124k of our pops. I'd like to see how many people it killed overall, but it doesn't seem to show us anywhere. Too bad. We've fallen into a civil war with Trebizondian peasants. Wow. Didn't see that one coming. Well, surely we can defeat them very quickly. They only control a single province. Well, even a single square of a province. This would be a good chance to actually look at our levies and see how they work. Yeah, we can see we have peasant levies. Maybe peasant levies are an upgraded form of normal levy. Because we also have feudal levies. What's the difference between a peasant levy and a feudal levy? Feudal levy seems to be better. No, they're the same. Are they? I guess they are. Oh well. Let's destroy these rebels. And there we go. The civil war's over. It wasn't much of a conflict, but it was a good test, I guess, of our military might. Our child has successfully lived and rose to the throne. He's bad in everything. He's incompetent in pretty much everything. He's got okay diplomacy, but he's bad at everything else. Hopefully, it won't matter. Well, I mean, it will matter, but hopefully we can overcome his badness. Let's try and get him married first of all. We could marry Byzantium, the country we just created. Does the stats of our wife have any effect is a question that I'll ask. I think we're going to marry the Byzantium girl just because she gives us a lot of prestige, and marrying our vassal is probably a nice thing to do. Our ruler will gain a trait in 11 months. Till then he'll be traitless. We've done it. We've managed to make Theodoro our vassal. Well, that was easy. If we can just vassalize everybody without having to do anything, nothing but good will come of this. Is there anyone else we could potentially vassalize? Probably not. I wonder if it's worth giving our territories up here to Theodoro, since us controlling them is so low. Maybe he could make better use of the territory. Well, a daughter's been born. That's nice. Hopefully she'll have better stats than her father. We have some works of art in Theodoro. Can we do anything with them? Or do they just exist? Oh, well, they provide bonuses based on their quality, it looks like. Very small bonuses, but bonuses are nice. Serbia just got attacked by Nepal? No, they're the attacker. Not sure why we automatically got called in, but we did. We're a little too far away to really do anything of note though, so I think we'll just hang around at home. This is a good time to check. How many soldiers? Theodore only has 600 men. They're not really going to be of much help in any real conflict. It's nice to have them though, I guess. Wow, it seems our daughter has the prodigy trait. She probably won't end up succeeding the family unless our king doesn't have any sons. But if he doesn't, she'd be a good ruler. Unlike this bumbling buffoon. Looks like Serbia's getting annihilated. Not really sure why they decided to start this war. Doesn't seem to be going well for them. But on our front, we're making a lot of money at the moment. 10 ducats. That's like thousands. Let's build roads. Ooh, a son's born. What should we call him? Seems like when we pick randomize, there are only 2 options. Looks like after his grandfather or after our father. I think we'll call him after our father. He can be another Basilios. Too bad that means our prodigal daughter is no longer going to be on the throne. Nepal expanded a lot just now in by taking land from Serbia. Serbia is now less of a reliable ally than they were a moment ago. Maybe we should cut them off. Feels like we're cutting everybody off. Ooh, we could do things that increase our ruler's stats by passing certain parliamentary debates. His stats are really bad, so I'm not even sure if it's worth increasing them a little. Maybe we'll do it just because why not? We could always increase the RGO for Trebizond. It's almost at max. Maybe we should just max it out. Let's do that instead. I don't think there's much point investing in our ruler. We'll just hope he lives long enough for other good things to happen and then promptly dies. Ooh, the Ottomans are at war with Bulgaria. Ah, well no, the Bulgaria is at war with Central Macedonia, and for whatever reason, the Ottomans are helping them out. It's too bad the Ottomans are being guaranteed. Too bad everyone's stopping us from doing things. We've managed to actually build roads in nearly every province in our country. Isn't that great? We're making quite a lot of money. Mainly through tax from the peasantry. But now the real question, what can I sink that money into that will improve things? We can build bailiffs, which will increase the local proximity score. Can't build bailiffs in towns though. Ooh, a unique event. The Citadel of Trebizond. Funding the expansion is the historical option. And there's no reason for us not to do it. It's only 100 gold. We're swimming in gold now. Now the hardest part is finding stuff to put our gold into that actually benefits us. We managed to fabricate a claim using our parliament on this single province of Kaffa. I think we'll take it and likely just give it to Theodoro to make him a little stronger. Probably just call up our navy levies and army levies in Theodoro, in Trebizond even, and send them across. And there we go. A nice and quick / easy war. Can we just give the... how do we pass control of provinces? Is there a way? Is there a way? I'm not seeing one. If there is, it doesn't really matter. For now, at least. We could just make them a vassal, but I don't think so. I think it'd be just more logical to full annex them. Give their land to Theodoro, who can probably make more use of it than I can. There we go. Now, how do we give this to Theodoro? I imagine it's in the subject screen. That's right, manage subject, duchy, seed, location. And we'll give you Kaffa. There we go. Now Theodoro's a little bigger on the map. Whoa. The Etrinids just collapsed into a big civil war. Does that mean it's our chance to declare war on the Ottomans? Well, we've lost our casus belli, and they're still going to join the war. So let's start thinking about getting another casus belli on the Ottomans. Bulgaria still isn't willing to ally with us, despite being good friends. Who do we take the Ottomans on our own? Not really. They have 10,000 men. For whatever reason, we're not allowed to declare them revolters in civil wars. Really, I'm feeling pretty trapped. I want to attack Georgia, but I can't because they're a vassal of a very large and powerful nation. I want to attack these Etrinids, but I can't because they're a vassal of a very large, very powerful nation. Can't attack anybody that borders me, essentially, because they're a vassal of a very powerful nation. I want to attack the Ottomans, because they're the only one who isn't a vassal of a very powerful nation, but instead their independence is being guaranteed by the Etrinids for some reason, so I can't attack them either, without being drawn into very large conflicts, which I probably won't win. Oh well, the Ottomans have lost their guarantee. They were also just in a civil war. Could we actually fight them? We can't make a casus belli. We're gonna leave it for the moment. I feel like I've spent ages just doing nothing, but we can wait a little longer for a chance. If only someone would... Can I ally with somebody right now who would just join me in fighting the Ottomans? Not really. Everyone hates me. They just do. Because I'm far away. Even Bulgaria's like, you're too far away for me to like you. Like, really? My eldest daughter has grown of age. We could marry her off to somebody. I kind of don't want to marry her off to somebody... Because there's always a chance that my son dies. Is there a way to make it so the marriage will be... their children will be of our dynasty? Her stats are so good. Dear God. We'd really like her to become our ruler, really. Could we change our succession? We could change our succession law to absolutely cognatic. And when we say that another son has been born, it seems the Ottoman have decided to ally with a bunch of people, such as Central Macedonia. If only I could get Bulgaria to ally with me. Is there anything I can do? We could bolster trust. If we just bolster trust a few times, we're getting close. It takes our diplomatic reputation. I don't know if we can bolster trust more than once. Can we? Oh, it's working. Maybe the tech is just to spam bolster trust. And now, can we ally? Yes. Well, that was easier than I thought it was. Now the hard part, getting them to join a war against the Ottomans. We're carrying favors with them, but I don't think favors can be used in the same way. Maybe I should just declare war without anybody. Ottomans are in another civil war. We're just going to do it. We're going to declare war on the Ottomans. We'll just see how it goes. Do the Ottoman have a navy, unfortunately? This may have been an error. We could just purchase... There we go. We should be able to purchase the... moving through their land rights. Then we can just walk to the Ottoman. We have a lot of money. Maybe we should just hire some mercenaries as well. Let's have a look at that mercenaries right now. We need to hire a mercenary leader. Pick a guy who costs the most. He's probably got the best soldiers. This guy does. So we click him and then nothing happened. Try that again. Let's click this one. Oh, okay, yeah. So it opens this little window where we can select how long the contract's going to last and how many mercenaries we're going to hire. Really, we want the one with the most soldiers. Nothing else really matters other than army size. We'll hire this guy with 11 mercenaries. So a good 1,100 or so men. Let's make sure our general is the best one we got. And let's march off. I thought I bought military access. Oh, have they not accepted yet? No, they now don't accept. Even though they did a moment ago. How strange. I guess let's refuse trust again. Now let's wait a month or so until we have the diplomatic points. And now we will purchase military access again. And now we're off. Head straight for the Ottoman capital. Let's put this guy in charge of the army. He's slightly better. And he has a good trait. Off we go. The Ottoman army's here. There's only 2,000 of them though. Oh, apparently we found some troops at the capital and defeated them. I guess we're just going to sit on here and siege this down. Our vassals are sieging down their territory over there. We've already got loads of war score apparently. Ah, there's their main army. Are they actually going to lose this battle against our vassal due to their low morale? They might. It's going to be... Maybe doesn't feel like it should be close, but I mean the Ottomans are taking pretty heavy casualties. They're actually going to lose the central flank, I think. Yeah. They're going to win the battle, but they lost like half their army. Maybe not fully half, but they lost a lot of soldiers, which is a good thing, in my view. The contract expired with our mercenaries, and so they left. We are getting attritioned trying to take this city, though. But if we can take the city... Oh, this may have been a mistake. The one doing the real heavy work here is actually Theodoro, with their 200 men going around conquering everything. We did it. We killed nearly all of our army, but we took the Ottoman capital. Now, though, I don't feel like we can actually fight them in a straight-up battle, because we've taken so many casualties. So it might be best to just peace out now while we're ahead. We're going to take a few more provinces just to give us a little extra war score. And then we're going to see about piecing out with as much of this country as we can get away with. Right. Oh, we actually have 100% war score because we occupied the nation. All right. Okay, let's try not to get too greedy. Remember, making the Ottomans into a vassal seems appealing, but it can't be done for one, and it would increase aggressiveness, antagonism, by a lot with 500 different countries. So don't get greedy. Remember, don't get greedy. So let's say we'll take this province and we'll take this province to start with. Where is it? There it is. That will give us 37 or so aggressiveness. Antagonism. I don't know why I'm struggling to say it. I don't really know how antagonism works in this game, but this would take some of the largest provinces, I think, from the Ottoman. Is there anywhere we can see that? Well, yeah, we can look at their country, but it doesn't like we can look at the provinces. But this province is very large. Believe me, trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Well, it's not large, it's large in the sense it has a very high population. And I'm thinking we take it, give it over to Byzantium, and they'll just use it for us. But that's just so little though, isn't it? And we're getting nothing for ourselves. Theodoro remains small. Should we take more? This is that greedy thing I mentioned earlier. I wish I knew, like, how bad is antagonism? How much should I avoid my antagonism reaching? If I was to take more land, what would I take? Maybe this province here? To just cut them off from their holdings? Who would get really upset? Mainly Macedonia. I wish this was sorted by who would upset the most. That would be nice. Well, it says here Byzantium and the Ottomans themselves would be in the red zone. So I'm guessing they're the ones who would be the most angry. We're going to do it. We're going to do this. We're also going to demand war reparations and money. Maybe we can bankrupt them. Oop, we've taken more land, and then we're immediately just going to hand it over to our vassal because we can't do anything with this land because it's just so far away from Trebizond proper. Oh well. Surely our vassal expanding can only be good. Right? Surely? Right? And then eventually we'll be able to annex our vassal, maybe, if we can ever reach a point. If we can ever reach a point where we actually border them in any way. We'll start improving relationships with Byzantium and with the Ottomans to try and maybe some other people who don't like us due to the antagonism, just to try and offset it. Is there a way for me to see who hates me the most? Like in EU4, where I could see here we go. Who hates us the most? These guys, because they're our rivals. These guys also hate us. And they're our enemies. I think that means they've rivaled us. Yeah. We'll start improving with them as well. Diplomats, since they're just there to spend, really. Alright, let's disband our levies. They did the job. And let's go home. Hopefully our vassal can manage the Ottoman land he's been given and doesn't just immediately collapse into civil war or such likes. Our heir has come of age. He's a little better than his dad. Not exceptional though, not like his sister, who unfortunately will not be becoming our ruler. Is there anyone who wants to marry him? We can marry the princess of a tiny province up there, or we could marry the current ruler. Is she the current ruler? No, she is the daughter of the current ruler of Kiev. I guess there's no real reason not to marry. Just marry somebody and don't think about it too hard is probably the best way to do it. Really, we want as many people in our family as possible, because I think every member of our family will be part of the royal family. Wow, looks like the Golden Horde has just collapsed in a big civil war.